the Poisonwood Bible. We've got Orleana, Rachel, Ada, her twin Leah, Ruth May the baby, and the dad Nathan. We're off to the Congo now on a mission trip. Here's the Congolese guiding us on our journey. That's Leah, what a little go-getter. There's Nathan, ooh, he's kind of scary looking. Behind him, we've got Rachel. She's kind of narcissistic. Then there's Orleana. Look at her baby little Ruth May in her hands. Oh, isn't she adorable? There's Ada, and she doesn't know how to walk.
Okay, so now here we have Leah and Nathan doing his demonstration garden, which obviously isn't working out very well, but then we have Mama Tataba giving them a warning saying,
"The poison wood."
So Orleana tries to bake. Obviously it doesn't work out very well.
Leah and Ada are chilling in the jungle, and then a lion comes out of nowhere, and Leah runs away, but Ada can't because, she's limping, and then she gets hurt. But then Congo gains independence, and we're super duper duper happy because new leader, new life. Woohoo!
And then little baby Ruth May gets malaria, and Orleana's all sad because Nathan won't let her leave. And then Anatole teaches Leah to hunt screw gender roles. And then Tata Undu's all like, I want to marry you, Rachel. And she's all like, nope, I want to marry Eben.
In the Congo, crazy things happen, like ant invasions. So Ada falls, Ruth May falls. Orleana rolls up and's like, who do I save? Ruth May? Ada? Ruth May? Ada? Ruth May. So now that Congo's got a new leader, they get to vote democratically.
So Tachakava Undu puts a snake in the chicken coop, which bites Ruth May and kills her. Leah and Rachel feel really sad and really guilty, but they know that Ruth May's watching over them because she's in heaven. Okay, so here we have Ruth May's funeral, where Orleana is really upset, but Nathan, on the other hand, just starts blessing all the Congolese people, which really is kind of weird considering his daughter just died. So Orleana then takes all of her daughters home.
Alright, so Leah and Anatole end up happily married doing activist work in the Congo, whereas Nathan, on the other hand, not so happy, burns his death. Boo-hoo.
Ada grows up, realizes she doesn't need to walk with a limp, and becomes a doctor. Rachel and Eben are in South Africa, but then Rachel ditches Eben for a hotel.
So eventually Orleana forgives herself for Ruth May's death, and Ruth May forgives her, and all is well and everyone lives happily ever after.
We're here with Barbara Kingsolver, the author. Tell us a little about yourself.
Well, I was born April 8th, 1955 in Kentucky, and then for a little bit of my life, my family moved to the Republic of the Congo, and that was a good experience, and, led me to write the Poisonwood Bible, which is a really great book. I think you've heard of it. I studied at DePaul University in Indiana in the 1970s, and the University of Arizona, graduated in 1977. Majored actually in biology and science fiction. I wrote newspapers and journals. And nighttime is when I wrote fiction. That's when I really got into my fields, and I wrote the Poisonwood Bible.
Oh, thank you for joining us tonight.
Anytime.
As the official historian for the Poisonwood Bible movie, I had to research the background of the story The Prices. So this was set in the 1960s during the Congolese independence movement. So the Belgians had occupied their state for up to a couple hundred years, and so the Congolese got independence, and so during their independence movement, they were turning towards a democracy. So the Congolese people as a whole elected Patrice Lumumba, but he didn't favor the United States. So the United States came, removed him from power, and put in Mobutu, which was a dictator, but he still favored the United States. So they didn't really care about what his background was, and so Mobutu, when he was in power, then restricted civil liberties of the Congolese, and so that is why Leah and Anatole spend their time in the Congo fighting for independence.
As I played every single Congolese character within the movie, my favorite moment was the interaction with Methuselah, the bird. He symbolized Congo as a whole because similar to Congo, the country, he was kept in a cage, similar to how Congo is kept in a cage virtually by America. And even when he was let go, he couldn't thrive on his own, similar to how Congo could not thrive without their dependence on America.
As the twins, as Ada and Leah, I had a lot of fun playing two very different points of view. So with Ada, her point of view was very judgmental, and she was the only one in the family that in the beginning of the book claimed she was an atheist and stuff, and that's really different from the Price family. And I think her point of view just brought a lot of a different perspective from the a judgmental American point of view. And then you kind of see her later in the story how that changes and how she becomes a doctor and how she becomes kind of realizes she's not as different as she thought she was. And then with Leah, it was kind of the opposite. She was very organized and structured and type A, and she loved her father, and she loved the Bible, and she loved God and stuff. You kind of see that fall apart a little bit throughout the book. and then she ends up being the one staying there, like falling in love with a Congolese person, which is so against her father's orders and stuff. So you see them all change a lot with their point of view.
So playing Orleana, it was a really interesting character to play because she prefaced each part of the novel, and so as Orleana, she's kind of the main character of the story. So she is always analyzing what happens and looking in the past and reflecting on her actions and her emotions, and so that kind of makes the readers connect with her more. And so in turn, because of that, their connection with Orleana translates to the readers being more involved in the story and getting to know the daughters. And so another point of view is Ruth May's, and so she narrates a couple chapters, and it kind of shows the innocence of the Price family as they come to the Congo, and of how innocence doesn't really protect you from anything because she still gets killed at the end of the story.
From Rachel's point of view through the story, she kind of looks down on the Kalinga people, and she's very stuck up, and as the story goes, she hasn't changed, and throughout the story she serves as a foil to the other sisters. My favorite part of this movie was playing the character Rachel, who symbolizes America. She symbolizes America because when she was young, she was petty and arrogant, and she doesn't try to assimilate herself in Kalinga culture the same way America didn't in the Congo.
I think my favorite part as playing Leah was definitely when my relationship with my father and how I loved him so much, and especially in the beginning when we did our demonstration garden, and because that's just the demonstration garden just symbolized the difference between the Congolese people and the white people, the Price family, and just how Nathan's efforts were all in the name of God, but it just didn't work with the Congolese people. The demonstration garden was just that the disparity and the cultural differences between the two families.
As directors, we always had a lot of fun filming this, and we put in a lot of figurative language to convey what we were trying to say, like similes, alliteration, repetition.
But the most exciting part, I think, was putting in the colloquial language of the Kalanga people and stuff, and letting that show the cultural differences. So, for example, when Nathan tried to say Jesus is beloved, he was actually saying Jesus is Poisonwood because of the Kalanga language, how that worked out, and it was kind of ironic because just like how he tried to play the garden, it didn't really help. He was trying to make them love Jesus, but it was kind of the Poisonwood.
We also used personification with Congo. We personified it as almost this being that couldn't be saved, and even though the Price family tried to save it, they just couldn't.
Okay, so as producers, the point of us making this movie was to convey different themes to our audience. So our first theme was the inferiority of women versus men. So Nathan treats his wife and his daughters pretty crappy. And so by telling the point of view through the women, we're trying to show that women are equal to men.
Our second theme that we focused heavily on was the concept of imperialism and how it didn't benefit Africa and those involved. Rachel, like mentioned earlier, symbolized pettiness and arrogance, and she symbolized America, or not America, Europe and the Western world, and how they hurt Africa in an attempt to help them.
And so our third and final theme that we focused on was the concept of guilt. And so with guilt, we had a lot of characters feel it with Orleana and Ruth May's death, Leah bringing Ruth May out, and then Leah and the Congo and the America struggle. And so because of that, we're trying to prove that guilt is an emotion that's easily felt, but not so easily overcome, because we have all of our characters struggle with it at different points in their lives.